beautiful childhood, something that people only dream of. My father, my mother, my sister, and I were a close knit unit. Life was beautiful, life was like a fairy tale. My father was in the army, and that meant access to beautiful places, experiences, and adventures that people could only think of. But just like every fairy tale has a monster, I had one problem. And it is because I conquered that problem that I am standing here in front of you today. And the name of the problem was change. Change was a hard word for me. And it followed me like a little puppy. Mary had a little lamb. And change would follow me everywhere. To new schools, to new classrooms, to new cities, to new places and to new friends. I hated change. I wanted roots. I wanted the same school. I wanted the same friends. Just take a second, close your eyes, and imagine if tomorrow morning you wake up and everything about your life changes. You have to go to a new school. You have to go to a new teacher. You don't have your friends anymore. Your food is also not your own. Now tap into the feeling in your heart. How are you feeling? Open your eyes. And that has been the theme of my life. It took me a while to master change. And I'm here to share that journey with you. My dad being in the army, we would move every 2 years, sometimes even sooner. Just as I would get used to my new friends, my new teachers, make friends with the trees in my garden, remember the bus route back home, change would come up and say, "Come on, time to pack your bags." I used to ask my mother, "Why can't you leave me in a hostel? Why can't I have an easy life?" And she used to say, "Always choose the difficult path." And I couldn't understand why. It took me years to understand why. Once, at the tender age of 7, I received news that this time change was coming in a big way. We were not only to move schools and cities, we were also to move countries. Imagine at the age of 7 if you have to move countries. You're going to face new people, new food, new culture. I cried and cried with all my friends. The last week of school is still etched in my memory. We would be pretending that we are studying, but we would be writing notes to each other. Remember me, don't forget me, write often. But in those days of no phone and no video calls, friendships would be lost. People would drift away. The last huddle in the familiar school corridor brought tears to our eyes. Someone slipped a cold plastic friendship band and said, "Never take it off." Friendships matter so much when we are children, don't they? I cried that night and kept telling my mother, "Leave me behind, leave me behind." And she said one thing that started the mantra for my life. She said, "When life is really, really hard, choose the hard path and just show up." So I did, and we went to the new country. One little girl with her hand put in her mother's hand, icy hands. Intimidating buildings, confident faces looking back at me. But I had to show up, so I did. I didn't make friends very easily. I thought children were making fun of me. I used to have long hair with braids and oil in my hair, and I used to think that they are judging me. I would pretend to be eating my sandwich every day in the cafeteria, pretending to be very busy, and nobody would include me. I was lonely. One day the teacher saw this, and in her spirit of wanting to include me, she said, to the class, well, we have the annual function coming up next week, and the person who's going to lead the school is Manmeet. Everyone clapped and I froze. I had intense stage fear. I didn't know what I was going to do. But because I was a topper, I was a good student, I was expected to be good at public speaking. A show of hands, is anyone nervous on the stage? I was. Yeah, that's courageous of you, right? So came the moment, and my mother's words were echoing in my mind. Just show up, just show up, just show up. So just like now, I showed up, I stood there in front of the microphone with hundreds of pairs of eyes staring at me, and I forgot everything that I had to say. With tears streaming down my face, I opened my mouth, and the only thing that came out was the national anthem. And slowly I thought that people stood up, sang with me, and in the end, something surprising happened. They all burst into a large round of applause. You see, they understood that I had forgotten my lines. But they were clapping for the courage I showed to not run away from the stage. And that is the day I realized the most important lesson of my life. It is not important to be perfect. It is important to show up. After that, I became a really popular person at school. I made friends, people were fond of me, and therefore I conquered that hard road. Fast forward a few years, and change came again. This time, it was more scary. I was a topper and I was studying very hard to crack the medical exam. It was a family dream that we'll have a doctor in the family. I applied myself to coaching classes, to tuitions, buried myself in books. And when the time came, I cracked not just one, but 3 medical college seats. The family was ecstatic. Congratulations were being passed, sweets were being exchanged, cakes were being baked. That night, something very, very strange happened to me. Change, the monster, came inside of me and told me, I don't want to do this. Imagine, I was aghast. Having prepared for years and years for one thing, cracked it, and then I didn't want to do it. I kept thinking of the disappointment on my parents' faces when I had to tell them the next day. But guess what? That voice kept telling me, you don't want to do it. You are going to become a doctor, but of a different kind. But I didn't know how and why. But anyhow, I told my parents the next day, and their disappointment was so writ large on their face. They didn't understand what happened, because it was just not me. They had put so much of money in my coaching classes, in my tuitions and everything. 2 months, Change stayed with us. And finally, they said, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't know. But I know that I don't want to do this. So I stood up again, I showed up again, I took the hard path, and I showed up again and again till I figured out a business administration course. I was the last person to get admission because it was not my choice. Again, the same round of loneliness and confusion accompanied me to college. But within 6 months, I realized that I really enjoyed the curriculum. I enjoyed the group discussions, and a lot of stuff came back to me with my confidence. Within 1 year, I was placed at one of the top MNCs in the country. And there started my glorious career of 19 years. This time, I had conquered change in my heart. And now you'll think, okay, fine. So she got a corporate career and she lived happily ever after. No, I told you, Change was this faithful puppy who was following me everywhere. So just at the peak of my career, when I was ready and being groomed to be the top leader of a company, of a multinational company, this time Change came and barged itself into my life. My mother, my guide, my anchor. I was told that she has a terminal illness. I was shaken. I didn't know how to react or respond. At the same time, my responsibilities at work were increasing. I had a choice whether I could quit my job and take care of my mother full time. And as always, my mother said, choose the more difficult path and just show up. To top it all, my personal life started to fall apart. A young mother to two very small children, I wondered how to show up in this stage. So between flights, boardrooms, offices, hospitals, I spent the next 1 year just showing up without a plan. One night as I was sitting with my mother, I realized that I didn't want to even do this corporate job. Can you imagine? At a stage where I was already disintegrating everything, I didn't want to do this. And she asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, this time I want to do something that is purpose-led and not monetary. And what was that purpose? That purpose was healing. I felt that the other people who are going through so much of pain, I want to heal them. But I thought, who's going to come to me? Would you go to a person who has no education or experience in healing? Perhaps not. And that is exactly what happened to me. But in that moment, in that hospital, Soul Miracles was born as an idea. As an idea that told me that you have a bigger purpose than what you're doing right now. Again, I took the hard road. And that was a road that led me to something that I am today. I started mentoring people one-on-one, and those people sent other people to me. Tens became hundreds, and hundreds became thousands. The social media went viral, and I was recognized for the work that I do. But it was simply because I had followed my purpose. So when life is hard, when life is really, really hard, don't try to be perfect. Don't try to solve it. Just get up and show up. You have one life. Make it a masterpiece.